As you know, stars come out at night. Last night, we were very, very lucky. Now, if I had to say who is my favourite band of the moment, well, it's not the moment, it's been for the last donkey's years, and yet they're still the coolest and the best. They're the Script. Gentlemen, welcome back.
I was half expecting you to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Coldplay. Or you too.
I was like, where are they?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ireland's second favourite band.
No. I don't go along with that. The kind of stuff that we've seen you do in recent years, like you did a live gig for us that just had everybody's chins hitting their chest, not just because of the quality of the songs, which were very good, the variety. When people hear you live, and it's not just, there's a perception that the Script are kind of a one level, you're very nice, you're harmonic, you can put a nice tune together, but variety is what you've got, and that's a gift, man.
I feel that's after coming from we are children of the internet in a sense, so genres slightly missed us. You know what I mean? We didn't think of rock, pop, hip hop. That wasn't the way it was. It was like, it was the best song you liked, and it could have been a rock song, a punk song, a hip hop song, and you kind of liked everything. And so for us, when we were making a record, I think it absolutely reflected that. Our music just jumps all over the place for that very reason, I think.
And yet, when you say it jumps all over the place, the core you can hear with every tune. That's you guys. Oh yeah, it can't be anybody else.
No, as they say, that's the thread that strings it all together.
The essence.
You know, I think it's the essence, the voice. You know, is in the singer. Because no matter, it seems, what kind of style we try, it always ends up being, it sounded like a Script song. Obviously, because it's me singing it on top of it. And I believe we've always tried to put stories into songs. It's something that's really missing. You know, I think as music progresses, you know, and technology gets better and better, it seems like the top line lyrics and the melody are getting worse and worse. You know, so that's what we try and do, to try and inject a little bit of the old school thinking into the songwriting format.
And yet the songs are very now, absolutely now.
Yeah, production does a lot to address that. You know, you can take an old style song done in the whatever ABA or AAB format, but present it in a new way today. And people are like, "Oh my God, this is life changing." It's like, no, we just took an old structure, put a new production behind it, and there you go. You know, but
a lot of people that weren't there first time round for all of that, they're just getting it new.
Listen, exactly. I've probably been around now for, and I'm only 34, you know, but I've probably been around for 4 times, no, maybe 3 times the dance cycle,
right?
To where it's been like, oh my God, what is this? It's electronic dance music. This is amazing. And then it's just blown up, and then then the cycle goes, and then rock takes over, then pop on, then magically here's dance again. Awesome. That's happened 3 times in my life, so you know, it's funny.
I was in one of the probably Cyprus or some island holiday, and I came across the Queen High Energy album, and it had a picture of Queen on the front, and I'm going, nah. And of course it wasn't. It was an album. They just stuck Queen's cover on the front.
Good luck.
And it was every Tom, Dick and Harry singing "I Want to Break Free," but
with a dance beat behind it.
300 mile an hour.
I want to break. Yeah, no.
So you can do anything, and yes, you can, but you do it very well, and it's not to be underestimated, because it was funny hearing you say the last time you were in about you wanted where you are now to be a happening band, and you are. Are you relevant? Are you credible? All those things that are really important.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, how few other bands manage to achieve it.
We often joke and say, you know, if you're not in fashion, you can't fall out of fashion, you know. So we've tried our best to keep one leg in the cool pond and the other leg in on land, if you know what I mean, because at the same time, you don't want to fall out of fashion, and you don't want to be one of those bands that's deemed to be chasing fashion all the time, because that's really tough. It's hard to keep up with, to be honest.
Also a bit embarrassing.
It is.
Because we sometimes see those bands, and you know the last album didn't do terribly well. Look what they're doing now. And the great thing with the Script is, if you talk to somebody who's 34, 44, 54, they love the Script. You talk to teenagers, they scream the Script.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a great place.
It's really working well for us. Now when you go to one of our shows, it's a real slice of normal life. You look out and you're seeing, like you said, 50-year-olds dancing away, and then you got a lot of screaming girls up the front, and now it's become more and more men at our shows, and it's just really, really. Is
that why it's the leather jackets, guys? Are you?
Yeah.
Is there a statement here?
I think unfortunately there's the same leather jackets from album 1.
But genuinely, you see,
they actually are.
It's hilarious. I haven't worn a leather jacket in about 4 years, and today I wear it.
These guys.
But you start to see at the shows, you know, you have particular parts of the crowd that are there to see you know, there's a drumming section over near where Glenn is on the stage. Then there's, you know, there's everyone in the middle, and then over towards where Mark is, there's a load of dudes wearing leather jackets, head shaved, kind of growing a little bit of a beard. You know, you can tell they like kind of have picks in their hand as well, just to show them that they're guitarists. Might have Metallica written on the back.
Fantastic.
It's really good. You can spot them a mile away. Yeah.
Your life must have changed, because it was strange. First time I met you, innocent little Irish chaps.
Yep.
Will they do it? Will they not? We all thought yes, because the music was strong enough, and we'd already heard. I think your first and second single was part of a package you put out.
Yeah, true.
And I was thinking, if they can't score with this, there's something seriously wrong with it. So you went on, but your whole lives must have turned upside down within a year.
They did.
Nobody knows who we are. Everybody knows who we are. I can't go to the supermarket anymore.
Yeah, we were just kind of chatting about this the other day, and they were saying how is it to be recognised everywhere, and it's one of those things. It's like, if you can imagine, you're introduced to everybody in the world, but you don't know them. I think you're walking.
Right.
Everybody knows who you are, but you just don't know. But they're all friendly, you know. That's the one thing, the one great thing about this band is I've talked to other people who are like, you know, do you get any hassle walking in the street or you know, being on the telly and stuff? And I said, no, I've never gotten one name shouted at me or anything bad. It's always been nothing but nice people coming over saying
you didn't hear
songs.
Me then, did
you? Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I muted your mic. It was terrifying.
It was terrifying, hurling abuse at me. But it's never changed for us. You know, we've always just been the same.
But it's because of the characters that you are. You're not putting anything on. You're not giving anybody a false trip. You know?
Yeah, I've no reason to even want to hide or do anything, because we are. It's us. You know, you meet me on the street and ask me what I think of your singing, I'll tell you the same stuff I told you on The Voice.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's no difference between the two people. But yeah, it has changed. You know, probably changed because we know more time.
Can you miss? Is there anything in anonymity to miss?
No, I don't. You know what? Because I would be testing what I have now by turning around and going, you know what? I missed the way things were. I don't miss the way things were because I was broke. I was extremely unhappy. I think we were chasing it. You know,
we were also unsuccessful for way longer than we've been successful. So we've yet to tip that seesaw over a little bit. You know, we've spent so many years, particularly me and Danny, since we're children, from having our bedroom studio to having a little studio in our shed to constantly trying. And I think even if we decided to go home for a little while, our families, although they love us and miss us and we miss them, they would kick us back out on the road in a second. Because now we've gotten a taste of it, and now, you know, it's something that's coming our way. We're just absolutely crazy about it and in love with making music.
You're surfing the joy and the success at the moment.
Exactly.
You can tell you're just in a good place.
Having the time of our lives, we really are.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask you stupider questions.
Yeah, cool.
Let's do some of that. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to your body? Accidents, operations, screaming pain?
I got, I mean, you
on
name
stage,
it's happened to me.
It doesn't have to be on stage, could be when you were a kid, but just the worst thing that's happened to you.
Recently, I got my nose fractured and my rib fractured boxing.
Oh.
Yeah, that was really sore.
On purpose, or?
Yeah. Yeah, he meant it.
Argument in the chair.
Yeah, he meant it. No,
He'll never answer me, he got back again, I tell you.
Yeah, I got my nose fractured and my rib fractured, and then the year previous I got on the other side I got that fractured by I was on one of those inflatable boats out in Barbados, and the thing went up in the air and this DJ landed right on my side with his elbow and cracked it. I didn't notice for about 3 or 4 days because I'd been drinking straight vodka for the whole holiday, so I never noticed until I got home.
All of a sudden, just as soon as that leaves your system.
Yeah, as soon as I was like, hello everybody, mommy, quickly take me to the hospital. I've had everything, man. Punctured lungs, fractured hands, everything. Yeah, pretty much.
What about
you? I've been fortunate never to break a bone in my life. Yeah, I've never broken a bone
lived in a bubble.
Yeah. And
you're from Ireland. Come on, I thought put two Irishmen together, you got to fight.
I know, but it's their bones keep breaking. Mine are fine. This is the difference.
I'm going to keep in with this.
There's a huge difference.
Very good.
I've nenever really broken any bones. I've fractured bones and things like that. You know, and I oddly have been fighting most of my life as well. I've done professional full contact sports most of my life. So yeah, I've never really broken it. I've been incredibly lucky. Yeah.
But presumably your opponent's less lucky.
I hope so. Yeah, they've definitely been less lucky.
What are you frightened of? You got any rational or irrational fears?
For me, it's bees and.
Bees? What's happened to you with a bee?
I've been oddly stung. I think there's a whiff I give off the bees, and bees quite like it. They land on me and sting me because they leave everybody else alone. Thank God I didn't say flies because you go to smell a poo off you. But there's that, and there's an irrational fear of heights now that I've developed as I'm getting a little bit older.
Isn't it weird though because I'm sometimes a little bit like that, and I can't explain it. It's just you look over somewhere tall, you're not scared of it, but your testicles recede into your body
right
for some
into your
reason.
body. Yeah,
what's that all about?
it's unbelievable. I have this thing now where it's freaking me out so much, getting worse, and I get on planes all the time. The more planes I'm getting on, every plane journey has been the same, to be honest, but for some reason it's getting worse and worse and worse for me. You know, it's crazy.
What about you?
What was the question?
Irrational fears or rational fears?
Oh, I'm scared of acoustic sessions in the morning. Yeah, when I see a 9 o'clock radio acoustic session in the morning, and I just think of the songs, because whenever we're doing acoustics now, it's not just like I'm not saying the easy songs to sing, but it's every one of the hits, and all the hits always have like the giant note in it. Yeah, every single one of them. So yeah, when I see that, it's as I'm saying, it's irrational. It's totally irrational. And then when I get there, I do it. It's fine. But I genuinely like the night before, because it hits me the day before. Like right now, if I knew I was singing tomorrow morning, I'd be kind of talking a little bit like that.
Saving it.
I wouldn't be doing as much.
Yeah, he'd be going to bed early.
Yeah, big time. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm not doing liners, not doing anything.
But there's a mini bar in the room.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Temptation. Okay. Ever seen a ghost? I had a spooky anything.
Oh yeah, I did actually.
I had this incident when I was a kid personally, and they brought us to this this place down the country in Ireland, and it was all these kids were gone. The whole week they scared the life out of us, telling us we were going to see the White Lady, you know.
Right.
And of course at the end of the week we did see the White Lady, and it was in the background. My brother tried to tell me that he saw 2 car lights in the background. Obviously it was a woman going across in the boat, and they just scared all the kids. But for me, I genuinely saw a ghost. So I lived with that for years till eventually they all told me no.
You discovered it was Elsie from the canteen in the white frock on a boat that they just
carrying the tea across the water.
But you've seen one. What have you seen?
Well, it wasn't a ghost. I was staying. I can't say that the hotel chain because they'll either get loads of business at Halloween or none at all. We were just there. We stayed there last night. Nothing really weird happened last night, other than a massage thing. I'll tell you about that later. So I was there, stayed the night one night. I'd ordered kind of room service up, so you know, I not remembered where the phone was. It was right beside my bed.
Right.
And I woke up at about 3 o'clock in the morning. I remember turning the light off, but the light was on. And I just sat up in bed, and the phone that was beside where I was just perfectly, like with a straight line. The cord was like in a straight line, and the phone was right in the middle of the room, like perfectly placed. It wasn't like I knocked it over. It was like with the receiver on it, right in the middle of the floor. And I told the lads the next morning, I was just like, I don't know what happened here. Then another time, which was really strange, but actually happened probably after we were in the bar. It was the next morning.
Which happened to be a whiskey bar.
The next morning I got up and I'm walking down the stairs and I just realised I'm about to forget my hat. So I went back up to what I remember. It was back, like short flight up the stairs, and I'm like, went back up to my room, and it wasn't my room. And I'm like, because they're all named really, really strange. It was also an insane asylum. This hotel used to be in an insane asylum.
Lovely.
That's why I feel so comfortable there.
Went to go put it in the door. That wasn't my room. And not only was I not on the right floor, I was in the wrong part of the building. So I was 3 buildings over from where I should have.
Very confusing place.
It's really, really strange. Really confusing place.
Freaky stuff.
Yeah.
Tell me the massages story.
Oh yeah, it was like this was no off air. No, so last night, same hotel. I'm lying down and I was getting a deep tissue massage, and normally it's like really heavy, like you can't sleep during one of those.
Yeah.
Within 2 seconds, I was gone out of sleep. But I had this really agitative dream that I was on an airplane. I get this feeling in my legs that I just like, I want to get, like if there's somebody to your right, somebody to your left. You get this really horrible feeling, anxiety. And I got that on the table last night, so I was having this dream that I was on a plane getting the anxiety. And the next time I just woke up and I was kicking the masseuse. I was like, her hand, she was like just holding my foot, like, whoa. I was like, I was like looking around, like, where am I? Why am I in a white sheet? Why am I on a plane? And why are you holding my leg?
Thank God he could take it.
Is it true that when you have a masseuse, you need 2 holes in the table, one for your face?
Yeah, easy now.
Leave it alone.
The glory hole, they call the other one.
That's hilarious. And I didn't pick him up on the fact that he came across a Queen album while on holiday.
Boo. Right, okay. Highlights and lowlights. Best bit and worst bit in the business.
Oh, best bit I suppose was I think maybe up there with meeting Sir Paul McCartney and him taking us on the road to open the new Shea Stadium with him, because obviously that was a milestone gig for the Beatles as well. So here we were coming back with Paul McCartney. Between that and doing the Aviva, and I think probably the lowest point. I don't want to bring it all down, but on the first record, when we were in the middle of making our first record, I lost my mom and Danny lost his father. Yeah. So that had to be the lowest point of our career, because we literally threw in the towel right then and said, we're not doing this, and walked away from it for a moment. And obviously we realised how stupid we were, because that's exactly what our parents would have wanted, was to keep going and to keep making the music that we love making. And not a lot of people know that when they hear songs on the third album, like If You Could See Me Now, things like that, that's all for us. 3 albums of pent up I suppose emotion, and that came out on that album.
But it's real, and I think you can tell that it comes from a place that's genuine.
Yeah. I mean, you can't fake those things. I think if you try fake them, everybody just knows it. You know, everybody's a good meter stick for known BS. You know, people just know what's going to go on. You know?
Highlight in your life for you?
Same, pretty much. You know, highlights. I think that was probably the very first time our album went #1. I remember my manager calling us like, "You never guess." I was like, "What?" He's like, "You're the first band since U2 to debut at #1 in England and Ireland." And I remember losing it. You know, I remember just like not mean falling to the ground, but literally like I was shaking. I had to sit down. I was like, because you know, money means nothing to me. It means absolutely nothing. But that for some reason to be at the top of the chart just meant everything. It just meant like 15 years that we'd been trying previous were all vindicated. All the time somebody in a bar being like, "Well, you not give up that job and get a proper one."
Yeah, get a real job.
You know, all the times, you know, all the gigs, all the times you know, I guess left lovers because you were chasing the dream and all this stuff. You were vindicated. It's like like an Etch-a-Sketch, just wipe the whole thing clean, just shake it clean. That was an amazing moment. And then I guess just probably the low times are the times where you miss people, you know, where you've been on tour for 3 months, you know, Mark has kids, Glenn has kids as well, so I think some of those low times are just when you're like, you know, I wish it could be easier, but it's not. You have to go away to do your job, you know. And
the thing is, nowadays, because of the speed of the business, if you're away for too long, and I mean too long in some bands' cases, maybe a couple of months.
Yeah.
In other people's cases, if you do that thing, well, in 2 years we'll have another album for you. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
The world's a different place.
It is a different place, and the demand around the world now is more instant. So when you do release a record, it hits the world now at once, rather than years ago. You remember when a movie would have come out in America, it would take 6-8 months before we'd see it over here. But right now it's so instantaneous that when something is released, it's now a worldwide release. So you almost have to be everywhere at once. You know, we're thinking about creating the script, the franchise. We tried to work on the Asian version. It's not going great. But it's a weird one, because you know, you're jumping from Los Angeles, New York, back to the UK 3 days, jumping to Australia 4 days. Enough time to get used to you get used to the time zone. Then
do you ever see any of these places? Do you ever get a chance to actually?
We call it the fishbowl theory. You're looking out through glass all the time while the world passes you by.
It's the equivalent of watching it on the telly, because it's still through a bit of glass.
Yeah. In fairness, it's kind of like speed dating, though, because you get to find out what country you actually like. If you know what I mean, kind of like, actually, I wouldn't mind going back to Italy, and then when you have the time off, you can go book it. Do you know what I mean? So
right, prevention of the money. I just want to ask you 2 more quick things. Ireland, tell me about the best. What is it about Ireland that keeps creating individuals that just have immense talent and not give a bugger? It's a good thing.
Yeah.
The Van Morrison, I've got all this talent.
Yeah.
I don't give a bugger.
Yeah.
You too. I got all this talent. I don't give a bugger. Yeah. You actually care very much, not just about your band, but about people. But there's an Irishman just playing a penny whistle, awfully, but he believed it. There's just something about music in the Irish that is different to any country on earth.
Well, when we got invited to go and play in our president, Michael D. Higgins, I go up and play in his house. And you know, he gave us this beautiful letter, basically saying how you know, we're representing Ireland in every song that we write, in every port that we call in.
Not want to push any pressure on you, of course.
Yeah, not much.
Yeah, you know, just like, you know, he wanted to say thanks, and I thought it was an amazing step for presidents to acknowledge the, you know, youth culture or pop culture as being out there representing Ireland. But he, you know, he gave us off this beautiful letter, and we wrote back to him on like script-headed paper, you know, to try and like keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we just said to him, like, you know, it's an honour for us to do it. You know, I don't know any other country in the world that has you know, their emblem and our shield on our front of our passport is a harp. It's a musical instrument.
Yeah.
Whereas you know, a lot of other places would be the, you know, the sickle and the stave and the,
They've got
you know, the
weapons
guns and the
generally,
thing. You know, everyone would be a shield or some kind of war item. Whereas ours is it's the harp.
Absolutely.
And I think that just speaks, you know, volumes. of our culture and our heritage. You know.
Right, what do you want? Finally, just what do you want? What's
day
left,
off.
What's left for you to
A day off. Is that a lot to ask?
Just a day away from Danny. Just one day away from Danny. It would be great. Him and his bloody head. What do we want? I don't know. I just always still have it in me that we haven't done our best material yet. I think it's probably stupidly, you know, of me stupid to think to think that. But I'm waiting to write that magic song. The song, like I'm a hippie. I think one song will come along and change the world and will do something to somebody, you know. I think.
What if that was on an album that wasn't successful?
What if what?
What if that great song was on an album that wasn't successful?
Well, I don't know, because I'd probably judge success by the song. If it was the song that was going to change the world, then of course it was going to be successful. So you know, it could have been. It could be on a 1B record
some
right
of
now.
Dylan's big songs have never been particularly successful, and yet you listen to them and you go.
But by the way, yeah, exactly. That's the same type of response. So I'm not talking about commercial success. I'm talking about the ideology success.
Right,
you know, when all the poets and all the scholars and everybody agrees, wow, wasn't that a great thing to say?
Because if you
that
think
is
about
what
it,
Dylan songs
you think
are.
like Hallelujah.
Yeah, exactly.
What a song.
Exactly.
And yet it took somebody from the X Factor or something to have a success with it. And
Yeah.
you're thinking, whoa.
Well, they had commercial success, but that success that song was a success within music and within the hearts of musicians that I kind of value as well. So, I don't know, just trying to always be better and write that great song.
Is that why he's so annoying, do you think? Because he's...
No, that's just one
Always
of the reasons.
He's just as annoying. He's just one of the reasons why he's annoying.
Guys, it's been a joy. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you very much.